Long before towering cities, satellites, and smartphones, there was a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and a restless river. The people of this village lived simple lives, guided by tradition, instinct, and stories passed down through generations. They respected nature, but they did not fully understand it. The boy who asked, why? In this village lived a curious boy named Kato. While others accepted things as they were, Kato always asked questions. Why does the rain fall? Why do the stars shine? Why does fire burn? The elders often smiled and said, it is the way of the world. But that answer never satisfied him. One year, a terrible drought struck the village. The river shrank into a muddy trickle, crops withered, and hunger crept into every home. The villagers prayed and performed rituals, hoping for rain, but none came. Kato watched, worried. Instead of accepting fate, he decided to search for answers. The journey for knowledge. Kato traveled beyond the hills to a distant town where scholars studied the secrets of nature. There, he met an old teacher who introduced him to something powerful, science. Science, the teacher explained, was not magic. It was a way of observing, questioning, experimenting, and understanding the world. Kato learned how clouds form, how water cycles through the earth, and how plants grow. He studied tools, machines, and methods to solve real problems. For the first time, the world began to make sense. Returning with light after months of learning, Kato returned to his village, not with gold or food, but with knowledge. He gathered the villagers and explained what he had learned. He showed them how to dig wells to reach underground water. He taught them to build simple irrigation channels from the river. He explained how to store rainwater when it came. He introduced crop rotation to keep the soil healthy. At first, the villagers were unsure. But desperation gave way to hope. They followed Kato's guidance. The miracle that wasn't magic. Weeks passed. Slowly, green shoots began to rise from the soil. The wells provided water. The crops survived. When the rains finally returned, the village was ready. They captured and stored water, ensuring they would never suffer the same way again. The villagers called it a miracle. Kato smiled and said, it is not magic, it is science. A new way of living. From that day forward, the village changed. Children were taught not just traditions, but also curiosity. They learned to ask questions, test ideas, and seek understanding. With science, they built stronger homes that could withstand storms, created tools that made farming easier and more efficient, improved health by understanding hygiene and medicine, predicted weather patterns to prepare for the future. The village grew stronger, healthier, and wiser. The advantages of science. Kato's story became a legend, and its lesson spread far beyond the hills. Science brought many advantages. 1. Problem solving. Science helps us find solutions to challenges, whether it's drought, disease, or disaster. 2. Improved health. Through medicine and research, science saves lives and increases life expectancy. 3. Technological advancement. From simple tools to modern machines, science drives innovation and progress. 4. Understanding the world. Science helps us understand nature, the universe, and our place within it. 5. Better living standards. With improved agriculture, clean water, and energy, science enhances quality of life. The legacy of curiosity. Years later, Kato became an old man. One evening, as he sat under the stars, a young child approached him and asked, why do the stars shine? Kato smiled. Instead of giving the answer, he said, let's find out together. The moral of the story. Science is more than knowledge, it is a way of thinking. It begins with curiosity and grows through discovery. The world does not change by waiting. It changes when someone dares to ask, why, and seeks the answer.
And sometimes, that someone is just a curious child, in a small village, who refuses to stop asking questions.